JND made a very tongue-in-cheek video talking about, of course, their statue stuff, because primarily they're a statue company. But now they said, you know what? We are going into 1/6 scale collecting. And at the end of this year, you're going to see probably our first figure announcement if everything goes to plan. So I'm going to share something here. This is just one of their statues because they've not shown a 6 scale figure. So don't get the wrong impression that this is their first 6 scale figure. It's probably going to be Joker. No, I'm just kidding. That would be crazy. If they go with the Joker, bro, they said it was an iconic character they were going to make first in 6 scale. Right. So that could be Joker, but I think you would make a lot of sense.
The Facebook groups are just going to go crazy.
I know it's going to be wild, bro. You know what I think was interesting though? Someone messaged me and said this: Christopher Reeve Superman. That would actually probably be, it's an iconic character. That would be something that hasn't been done in a while. I know InArt was maybe thinking about it, but they might just beat InArt to the punch. We'll see. But Kiko, if JND enters 1/6 scale collecting, starts manufacturing figures, QC issues aside, where do you think 1/6 scale collecting as a whole is really headed here?
Well, if it comes down to JND and you're really excited about accuracy, you will not find a better company that nails the busts and cleavage than your female characters. I guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. So
Mira first character guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the question, is that what license do they have for 1/6? Is it transferred just because they have, DC licenses? Transfer to 1/6 accordingly? They can make any size if they have. I don't know what licenses they have. Maybe Will, you can fill me in on those things. But I feel if they're going to give something that is, quote, iconic, it's got to have a face on it. I don't think it can be covered by a mask. I just don't think so, because they want to show off their sculpt. That's what they want to do. That's what the whole point is when it's in this type of collecting game, is the accuracy of the figure is dependent upon the head sculpt, and everything else centers around that. We've talked about that multiple times. So where's it headed? I honestly think it's just going to be a bunch of the same stuff. And it's just going to be a bunch of people sniping back and forth. Oh, they released this one. Here comes mine. And everyone's like, oh, this is great for collectors because there's options out there. That'll make the product better overall. I'm just getting tired of seeing the same things. I know that sounds rich coming from me, but damn, like how many more patents and I was almost said Midman. I'm not allowed to say that.
Midman,
I was like, how many more patents and Batmans do we need to see? When that first released and every damn company in the world said, here's mine, it was wild. And I just feel like it's going to be a pissing contest. And I want it to be good. I want there to be competition, but I want companies to differentiate themselves and stand out. I understand that you need to get a base, essentially, to say, here's our consistency, here's our quality. You can trust us when it comes to your figure needs. And look at what we've done. Look at our bench. Hot Toys has a pretty damn deep bench at this point, to where if they release something like, that's probably going to turn out okay. And they have that reputation right now. Everyone else is trying to catch up, which is why they pick a lot of things that will sell. Joker, Batman, Superman. No one's stepping out of bounds to do anything that's crazy. And I would love for them to do something that's crazy, but that's a risky business model, right? Because it's what if it doesn't sell? Then you just tank on your first one. So I feel like this is going to be something that we've seen 15 times. I would not be surprised, honestly, if it was a Ledger Joker, just because that's the way to go. I hope not, but all I want is for innovation to come from this. I want new materials to be found, mastered, to where in the end, we all win. As collectors, we all win. I do not want it just to be, hey, I put out mine, now here comes the next one. Oh, you got one, here comes mine. I do not want 4 of anything out at one time. Please stop the madness.
Well, Kiko, someone dropped a comment, and I've heard people say this in a bunch of different chats. What if they go with Joker, but Nurse Joker? What do you think about that?
That is a void in a lot of people's collections.
Right.
I don't know if that's iconic enough, because everyone would be like, oh, I don't want to pay $600 for this one.
Right.
I want the purple coat. Then you're stuck again. Because everyone's going to be like, oh, this would be great for an exclusive. If they're just going to do a Toy Fair exclusive, that's what this one's for. You get down the line and then give us this one. They're wasting your time.
Right. Well, because Kiko, for the licenses, we're not really sure yet. I can only assume it would be something Warner Bros. Related. So if J&D is going to make their first figure, it's probably something Warner Bros. Related. I think he's an iconic character. It's not Warner Bros. But
Reeve Superman sounds great.
Reeve Superman sounds like a very logical
win.
That seems like a very logical choice. That seems, yeah. But one thing I do want to talk about, Riley, and I want to get you in on this one. Like with J&D, this has been discussed quite a bit, that they're probably going to come in with a higher price than InArt. And that's going to be something that we need to factor into this decision, because for one, what is the market for that? Because I remember at the time I was one of the naysayers saying people weren't going to pay InArt prices, and I was 100% wrong on that one. They do, and they are willing to pay that. But a JND is going to come in and set a new benchmark, right? And they're going to be like, okay, are you willing to pay $700 for a 1/6 scale figure? Maybe $600, right? Something like that. Maybe they're going to be a little bit ahead of InArt, a tier higher in terms of price and what they would describe as quality, right? So we're going to see. And we're going to see how the game changes. But that could, again, embolden Hot Toys to raise their prices, because they could say, you're paying for InArt, you're buying JND shit. You can pay.
Isn't everything JND do? Sorry for jumping in there.
No, go ahead.
Is everything JND put out? Isn't it numbered to a degree? Like it's don't
third
do
scale, third scale number.
Okay, so I can see they're doing. If people like their numbered exclusives, maybe this is it then.
Right, because InArt's going to do that for Arthur Fleck, I think, but not for the others. So, Riley, what do you think? I mean, with JND entering the fold, I mean, where do you think 1/6 scale collecting is headed? What should we prepare for?
Yeah, this is a really interesting topic. So I'm conflicted. I'm concerned, and I'm maybe a little worried for the 1/6 scale collecting, because I feel like we're this space. I mean, we all know this. Did you not? If you not just heard about me bitch about Spider-Man 3, Toby, we are the most finicky collectors out there. 6 scale collecting it's a different game. You go to Facebook, they do one tiny little mistake, you're going to get absolutely just flamed into the comments thread. So I will say that seeing JNT jump into their fray, they are a very controversial company, because I know a lot of people say, oh, their stuff is amazing, it's next level. But then there's other people who say, it's overrated, the sculpts really aren't that great. It's a very two-sided thing. So I'm interested when they jump into 6 scale. If they get sculpts off and stuff, I feel like it's going to come crashing down, burning down. People are going to be going crazy. And I think that there's just going to be a lot of just unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but there's just a lot of toxicity when it's going to come with this. As much as it's cool to see these 6 scale spaces jump into it, I mean, we already see it with InArt and Hot Toys. It's just a fact. There's always that left-right punch. People are like, oh, this one's better. Oh, you don't have the good one. You don't have the better one. Like, I don't get why people do that. Just get the one that you want, that you love. But regardless, I think JND jumping into this, they have to be prepared for the 6 scale community, because we are very, very finicky. And like I said, it's also interesting because InArt, they kind of, like you said, jumped into the space of that premium, high-quality brand. It's going to be weird to see what JND is going to offer, because I'm excited, but like what further could they produce that would be more than InArt, to where you'd be like, oh shit, this is worth the extra $300 or something? Like maybe, like people said, a silicone face, but for 6 scale, why would you even want that?
Do you
like,
need that for 6 scale? I don't know that you do.
I don't know what they're really going to do. Maybe like everything, the highest premium, most quality material, like leather and craziness. I don't know, die cast on everything. But I mean, InArt kind of does that. So I don't know what's really going to happen with JND. I'm interested to see it, but I'm not convinced yet, because yes, like I said, I agree with people. JND, that with their statues are very, like, there's hits and there's a lot of misses. There's interesting. Even the one I just had, like I said, I love it, but the unmasked portrait, to me, the likeness is off. And when you're paying a lot of money for a 3rd scale and it's a bigger canvas to nail the sculpt, think about what they're going to do with 6 scale. I don't know how it's going to turn out. We're going to see it in a couple months probably. But like I said, I'm interested, but maybe not as excited as I am for other companies. I mean, InArt, they're doing great stuff. But I mean, hey, if JND comes into the mix, they produce incredible stuff. Maybe InArt's gonna be like, shit, now we have to make even better stuff, and it's just gonna give us better products. So yeah.
I saw the idea floated, Riley, that someone saying that it could lower prices because of the competition aspect. Like maybe you would have more competition, the companies would be forced to lower their prices to earn your business. I'm not so sure, because I think that eventually, as the quality rises, the companies are going to have to charge more. And I think they're competing with each other in terms of quality. Price, sure, they are competing, no doubt about it. But I do think, and at the end of the day, quality, and they kind of have a general idea of what 1/6 collectors are able and willing to pay. And they can charge you as much as they need to. And if the quality rises, more materials, more accessories, if they have to compete with each other with more bases and overall quality, then the prices are probably going to go up. So that's something I think people do need to prepare for, particularly with these. But Kiko raised a very, very valid point about maybe these are numbered 1/6 scale figures that are limited in some way, and they sell out quicker. So for the more exclusive crowd, the people that love their exclusivity, then that could be one where this is a good option for you. For it's high end, it's exclusive, stuff like that. But I mean, Riley, I'm with you, bro. Silicone, I don't know that it's really needed in this scale. I'm not sure that they're going to do that, because is like in that small of a canvas of a portrait, do you really need silicone? Like that's
and for posing and stuff, you don't know if you can mess with it. You're gonna have to move
you don't.
and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't really make
especially
sense.
with movable eyes. But Riley, look, it's all anecdotal because I've not owned a JND statue, right? But with the QC issues that I have seen, that concerns me a little bit. Like that concerns me a little bit in terms of the aftermarket sales, because they're probably not going to have a worldwide license to start, right? Which would be my speculation. I don't know for sure. Maybe they do, but I'm assuming they're going to be in a similar position to InArt, and they're going to say, okay, you have to get this from X retailer, right? And JND QC, at least from some reports I've heard, tend to be a little problematic. But again, I've not owned a JND statue. I've just seen enough where it concerns me. You know, and
one thing I think that's also silly to think about, you say, where are we headed? I liked it when they sent that sassy message saying, if you don't like the way we sculpt,
right.
Fuck off. I like that type of thing, but maybe we're going to
get a lot of people upset.
I know they did. And I wonder if that's going to be part of the business model, saying, all right, here's our here's our JND Ledger Joker. You don't like it? Fuck you. You know, that type of thing. Like maybe they'll just go ahead and just go full scorched earth. And you know, that might get me on board because I like that.
Kiko loves that.
But some people did not. Some people did not like that. And they're like, I'll never order anything from them again. Damn it. You know, it's all communication. And you need, like I said, I enjoyed their CEO coming out and telling them to stick it. You know, I was cool with that. But that's an interesting part because that's the same company. So,
yeah, it is. And I like the updates they do. I mean, I do think generally speaking, you know, it's interesting updates. I still find the R win choice a little interesting, but peculiar. But you know, hey,
we all know how beautiful she is.
Well, it's her beautiful lips, bro. It's her beautiful lips,
man.
You know, so it's her iconic lips. That's what it is. So yeah, it just man, I don't know. But like, I do respect J&D and the work they do. But entering 1.6, we are, like you said, Riley, you raised a super good point. We tend to be a little more nitpicky. We tend to be a little more critical. There's probably, I know InArt said this, John said this on our live stream, with 1.6, there tends to be more live streams, more coverage, stuff like that. So statues, you have a lot of some of the bigger YouTubers like Gem Min and Batman Statue Collector, stuff like that, and some others who do amazing work. But maybe like 1.6 scale community collecting is really active, right? It's really, it's just popping off. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see.